Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the Tenax series. My name is Sir Mickey. I'm joined by my good friend here, Zero Fight, and tonight we got a best of three once again. Last night we saw some insane action. We had a double overtime in the first map. Let's see if this series is going to rival that. I kind of hope it doesn't, but everything's fine. Zero Fight, how you doing, my man? Welcome back to it.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be back for series number 3. I mean, bigger teams, more matches this time around. So I'm just excited to see how these teams fare on the second day. I mean, like you said, some great Valorant played on day 1, but today we got some 2 banger teams. I think we have Prestige going up against Momentum. So
Yeah.
should be a great one to start us off on the year. I mean, what better way than some good old Game Changers Valorant.
Yeah, and it's going to be a show to say the least. We saw we saw 2 different rosters last night, and it was absolutely insane. And it just goes to show that Game Changers is nothing to scoff at, because I mean, these people know what's up. They know how to play the game, and it's insane. Also, I would like to note here that the 2 players on Momentum have the same name, and that's going to confuse us. So one is, I believe it's Aki, and I correct me if I'm wrong, production, if you can, Aki or
I think one is
sure.
it's either I think it's Aki, and then the other one will be Ika or
Ika, I think that.
Oh. It's just the names just reversed, but you know,
I don't know what's happening. That's gonna be
a little confusing.
Why would they do this to us?
They just gotta be cute and matching, you know.
I mean, I guess, but like,
it's like the friendship buff.
You know what? It very
gives them superpowers.
Honestly, it is adorable, but it's just confusing. But here we go. Here into we're gonna go ahead and show you all the map rotation here. First off is going to be Momentum's pick. They're going to be starting, or I actually, no, Prestige's pick. No, wait, it is Momentum's pick. I know how to read. Momentum is going to start on defense on Bind, and then, you know, Zero, we've casted together before. You've probably heard me say this. You don't have a real best of 3 unless we have Haven in the mix. That's going to be Prestige starting on defense. And then the final, if need be, we will head to map number 3, which will be Lotus. And Lotus and Haven are very similar in the fact that they have 3 sites, so it's to be expected we're going to see some attacking-sided compositions here, or attacking-favored compositions, I should say, or maybe some double sentinelity coming out on those 2 maps. But first and foremost, Bind. Zero, do you think these 2 teams, I know we haven't seen anything from these people yet, but do you think we're going to see some more meta leaning, or do you think we're going to see some more kind of sprawled out compositions here in terms of agents?
I'd assume so. We see, I mean, Bind has been a map that's been in the pool for a long time at this point. I mean, Lotus is one of those maps alongside Fracture that just got rotated back into the map pool yesterday with the change of the act and the 10.0 update. But over on Bind, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw just pretty standard stuff. I know there's been a lot of Cypher Deadlock that was kind of popping up towards the end of last year. So that wouldn't super surprise me. But yeah, nothing too surprising coming out from Momentum. Just that standard G2 comp with the double initiator, double controller. But over towards the other side, it looks like they are deciding to go for just double initiator with the Cypher and foregoing that Viper that so many teams just stick so close to.
Yeah, we're going to see double control on one side and double initiator on the other. And I think Sky is an interesting pick here because, like you said, this map has been in the pool for a very long time. You know how to play it. You know how to play it as a team. There's a relatively maps like Bind, Ascent, Haven. Those are kind of have set metas, but it's always nice to kind of sprawl out. So having Sky, having the double initiator on both sides, really, it's going to give us a little more action to watch. We got those flashbangs. We got the I always forget the dog name, Tasmanian Tiger. Those things are cool. I mean, Sky is just fun to watch in general. But double initiator, you're going to have that information. You're going to have the flashes. You're going to have some fun, is what I'm trying to say here. But I do like the mirrored rays here. Like you said, the difference of sentinelity coming out here. Actually, I didn't. Oh, okay. So Momentum doesn't have a Sentinel.
No, they will be going more towards that Viper, which can be played like a Sentinel in a lot of scenarios. A very hybrid-esque agent that we see coming out, and especially on a map such as Bind, you don't necessarily need a Sentinel because you have the teleports to aggressively fight for map control on defense, and you're really trying to play for a lot of delay over towards that side, and then you just have to watch your back on that attacking side, so that will be something to watch out for. But a quick play over towards the Showers position as well as short, we might be seeing a little bit of a Showers crunch here to start off this half.
Could be very, very interesting. Again, Momentum is going to be starting off on this defense side. It is their map pick, so it's to be expected that they're pretty solid on both sides here. But right out of the gate, we're getting a lot of action, like you said, towards that Showers area. Goddess, oh, Soleil does take down Aki, or maybe it was Aki, I'm not sure. But Amy returns the favor, well, really steps up to complement that first blood, and just like that, it's a sea of red across A side. A spike is going to get planted here, and the retake is underway in a 3v5 situation for Momentum.
It's going to be hard to get back into this. 3 players over towards U-Haul, and not much util to go alongside it.
Smoke's down.
I think that's one of the reasons I think pistol rounds are such a toss-up, is the lack of abilities here, but it doesn't seem to be putting a stop to Prestige so far. But there we go! Esala, beautiful shots. Ibia, these names, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I know I'm butchering these people's names, I'm so sorry. But Nyantaro and Amy gonna work hand in hand, and only 2 gonna go down on the side of Prestige. Very close to a flawless round there, but no dice on that. But they do take the round nonetheless. That's some nice economy, and we might get a hero rifle here from Amy, the duelist, the Rays, coming out for Prestige. That could be interesting in the second round.
And they would kind of set themselves up for success over towards Showers. They had the crunch play ready, but they just didn't commit to it. And then we saw, I mean, both the Goddess of Love and Aki, I believe, kind of just got punished and got overwhelmed around going over towards Prestige, and now just stacking this long position. 4 players here with a flash in hand to maybe punish anything, but we're just seeing the slow play, just not wanting to get caught out early and farm up these ultimate orbs. I mean, Amygdala already at 3 out of 8, maybe can get more. They could get upwards towards 5. I mean, it would be a great ultimate. Try to start snowballing into this next round. And now the TP.
Lots of audio information to be had. Nice clean rotate from Prestige. Momentum got aggressive out of that Showers, and it kind of makes them pay in terms of time here.
Right here.
But I don't know. They're relatively slow. They are going to go ahead and get bombed down. Information they're trying to grab some information here, but Momentum is playing very smart. They're playing back, they're playing together. And there we go, a little bit of info to be had, but still, all in all, relatively slow here. And now we're going to see a flood of Prestige players. Michi puts a stop to it, though, at least a slowdown, I should say.
Chaos all around.
Last player standing. Flawless.
And just like that.
Well,
yeah.
All right. Chaos.
That's a messy one.
Yeah, no, chaos indeed. A 3-piece coming out there from the side of Prestige, and now 2 rounds in a row in their favor. It's got to be feeling good, but now Momentum has rifles on the board, so we'll have to wait and see if that could make a difference here. But Prestige, they're playing real nice. They have 3 players with 3 kills each. It's got to feel good right now, but again, there's plenty of Valorant to be played here, so it's really still anyone's map here. But
yeah,
Momentum's definitely got to find now that they have rifles, they're gonna have to find a foothold here, and they got to do it within the next couple rounds to have a solid first half here.
Yeah, and once again, just fighting aggressively for this long control. And a pop flash play through the Viper's wall, going aggressive and getting that first blood.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Great work from the defense.
Great work from the offense as well. Immediately, very quickly taking B site, only losing 1 player. Comes the guiding light. Oh, Nyantaro goes down. Aki able to pick up a second as well, but very hurt here. 2 versus 3 now. 2 versus 4, excuse me. Information comes out. Oh, Aki had a beautiful lineup, but the flash doesn't matter. Soleil's got something to say. 3 down. Finally gets taken down. Ibia now in a 1 versus 1. There we go. Zylander gonna go ahead and throw a 3rd round in the favor of Prestige. It might have been sloppy this time around, but it's a round win nonetheless, and the economy is dwindling for momentum. They are back to pistols.
Yeah, and they were set up, you'd think, for success. I mean, they got the first blood over towards that shower's position, but like you said, a great reaction to just instantly push over towards the B site. It was pretty free, and after that, I mean, a great clutch to put Zylander and the rest of their team to a 3rd, and now you're looking to snowball. Amygdala only 1 away from that showstopper, and once again going aggressive on this defense. Trying to get anything early on.
Bring them down.
And we saw this a lot yesterday, where these teams start to play a lot slower, even though momentum is getting aggressive towards this A main area. They're still playing slow for information, but Michi is gonna catch Ibby on the side of the brain with a bullet. Michi picks up a second as well. Prestige looking real nice in their early moments of this round here. Out comes the information, a little bit more information provided by that fade, by that haunt. Soleil does make it count. 2 versus 4 now. Spike has yet to get planted, and that is going to give them a window to get that bomb down as Michi picks up a 3rd, and it all comes down to Aki in a 1 versus 4. 40 on the clock. A Spike going to find a home here at a site, and the retake is essentially non-existent. This is going to be painful to watch.
Yeah, and you see solely just looking for that fight, only 1 away from the Nightfall. If you can get that online, that would be huge benefits, but
I'll find you.
Aki taking that first, clean off Zylander's head, but like you said, I don't think there's going to be much else. Just
Oh my. Okay. You know, I said it was going to hurt to watch, and I mean, I wasn't entirely wrong. I was just like wrong in insinuating that it was going to hurt Aki, but my goodness. Also, chat, if we're saying names wrong, please help us. Please correct us. Give us the whole parentheses with hyphens, how to pronounce, because
please spell it out phonetically.
No, literally, that's the word. Thank you. No, but all 10 of these players so far, they've been playing pretty solid. You know, not everybody is there in the numbers, in the kills, you know, what have you, but it doesn't always come down to kills here, Zero, and you know this. We've seen enough games. We know that it's not all about kills. You can
look at how he's playing this, just so far back, and I mean, a great opener.
You can get things done without being a top fragger. Amy, no showstopper. I thought we were gonna see a showstopper for a second.
Yeah, deciding not to commit it, and on the other side, full momentum, just deciding to play this retake. They do have the Thrash to be able to invest into this one. So they're just slowly waiting it out. We have 5 players finally popping that Thrash.
Still 9 players existing on this map, 5 of which are up in the 7th area. But there we go, got us. Gonna go ahead and pop the head out. Looking for one, there we go. Connects on the retrade. Or the refrag, I should say. Now Antaro doing some damage, finally gets taken out themselves. 2 versus 3.
1 enemy remaining.
Down to 2 versus 2. 1 versus 2 now. It's Goddess of Love. Doesn't have a great position, but is going to try to get as much done as possible. But the showstopper, I don't know if that was the move you wanted to make, but Zylander makes them pay for it. Dies in the process after the bomb, but they were able to capture the round. Prestige now 5 rounds in a row, looking pretty dominant in this first half.
Yeah, wouldn't have even able to get that defuse once Zylander was even dead, but I need to see a timeout here or a change of plan or something, because the way that Momentum is playing this defense is not how you want to be approaching Bind. They're playing heavy off-site, heavy retake, and it just isn't going to work. You want to be able to stall out these plants, fight for map control onto site, and have your teammates rotate over to flood back in. When you're giving site up for free, it just isn't going to work. A little bit more of a hold over towards Shower for this round.
Oh man, Momentum's got to find a way to take back the space. I mean, This is just unfortunate to watch so far. They're able to buy one round, then the following round they're back on pistols. They have to find a window of opportunity to slip through here. There we go. That might be it. Aki taking down Amy, the heavy fragger for Prestige, off the board, but the rest of the team is there to avenge. Oh man, it is suddenly looking very one-sided here. Maybe not suddenly if we look at the scoreline, but orbital strike to possibly negate a defuse here, and it doesn't matter. No one was even on it but Michi, Yantaro. Yantaro picks up a 3-piece. We've seen so many multi-kills from Prestige at this point, and don't hate me, chat, but at this point, it's almost a team diff. Just 6 rounds in a row is not what you want to see from Momentum in terms of a loss streak, and they can't be feeling good right now, and they're finally going to take your advice here, Zero. They're going to go ahead and call that timeout, figure out what's going wrong on the defense.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a team. I think just it's a game plan diff, to be completely honest with you. That was an eco, so not much weight with it. But as far as Prestige goes, they invested 3 ultimates there. So if you're Momentum, you're pretty happy about that. And yourself, you're coming up on your ult cycle. I mean, we have the Seekers, the Viper's Pit, and the Orbital Strike here to invest. So they have rifles. If they can invest all these ultimates and get a round on the board, they could be looking at, I mean, maybe a 4, 8 half, 5, 7. They definitely are not out of this half quite yet. They just need to turn it around. And to be honest, it needs to be this round number 7, or it's just going to be a pretty clean sweep by Prestige from the looks of it. But I mean, as far as adjustments, like I was saying, I think they just need to approach how they're holding these sites a little bit better without that Sentinel utility that we were kind of talking about that was lacking earlier on. You have to play pretty on site. You have to rotate. You have to make some gamble calls, and it's not working out. But we'll have to see how they adjust their game plan going into round number 7.
If they adjust their game plan, I feel Momentum has been doing kind of, I feel like it's almost back to back. They've been doing very similar things, and they got to find a way to shake it up. And I mean, Momentum, we can tell by the way they play, we can tell the communication's there. These players know how to play the game. They know how Valorant works. They know how to spell the word, but they have to find a way to bring that into the game. And I don't think they're necessarily faulting at every turn. They just have to find those small issues, and they need to stuff that leak before the ship sinks.
Yeah, but look at this. I mean, not a single player over towards the A site. Finally, Ibia going back, kind of exploring, but you don't have any of this map control. If you want to confidently take back the A site, you have to re-clear all of it. The Sky Flash comes through.
Oh no.
Aki. There's that TP, and it's going to be a free site. Once again, how do they deal with this, Mickey? They're not going to have anything for retake. I guess they will have these ults.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you were talking about. They all just left site, and there was no one there aside from Ibia, and one person is just going to be near impossible to recover the entire site. But 20 seconds here. Prestige, doesn't matter how much ground they've gained, they've lost more than they've gained so far. They're down to 2 players.
This round is
that
over.
Spike, yeah. No, this is finally going to be Momentum starting to pick up the pace here, grabbing a round for themselves. It wasn't the cleanest thing in the world, but they got it done.
Yeah. And I mean, they only had to use that one orbital strike as well, Sir Mickey. I mean,
yeah,
that's a great investment if you're looking to kind of start to build these rounds back. I mean, Prestige will have a buy in for the next at least 2 rounds. If not 3 for a few of these players. So if you can spread out these ultimates and kind of use them round by round to start to get you some footing into this match, will be exactly what you want. And we'll have to see though. It looks like just a straight up B hit over towards long.
Scout
I feel like we've seen a lot of this repetition from Prestige. They went to A site 2 or 3 rounds in a row, and now they're favoring B site, and it seems that Momentum is having a really tough time reading these attacks. Not to mention, one round will be very fast-paced, and the next will be nice and slow, gathering information, and I feel like Prestige is playing just wild enough that Momentum can hit them. But look at this! Is stealing it? No! Does pick up one, but Soleil's there for the trade off of that first pick. Soleil still putting up a fight at doorway. Takes down a second, but Goddess of Love is going to find one. Does get taken down in the process. Soleil now 3 under the belt. A potential ace here from Soleil.
Yeah, and not even able to get a whole lot of value off their utility, but their gun is doing wonders. I mean, just connecting 3 to the head, and time's running low.
Last player standing.
Aki and Ika, there we go. There's that BFF buff working in tandem and grabbing the defuse, stealing the deal. Finally, I really feel that momentum is starting to grab hold here. It hasn't been the cleanest couple rounds, but they've managed to grab 2, and you know that's got to feel a little better, at least on the emotional, the mental side of this game, and it's definitely got to feel good to be finally grabbing rounds and looking at the other team's economy. I mean, Prestige, their money is slowly dwindling, and if they lose one more round, they're going to be in the gutter, and it's not going to be easy to recover. But they've been playing pretty nasty so far. Soleil's up there 11-5, so it's recoverable for Prestige here, especially since they still have that 4-round advantage here. But momentum seems to be finding a stride here.
And that TP, and now it's just Aki by themselves on site. So much util. Can't do a thing about it, and now as soon as they were able to get those 2 rounds, I mean, they're stuck in a 3v5. I mean, Amygdala has the rocket as well, and you're just going to be looking to save this one. I think it's not much you can do to get back into this B site. I mean, it has one of the lowest retake win rates, so I mean, yeah, just looking maybe as well, just take this time to kind of discuss what you want to be doing for the next 3 rounds of this half. I mean, they can make this 4-8, like I was saying, 5-7. I mean, you're taking away pretty good. I mean, just getting what you can, especially after it started at 0-6.
Yeah, I mean, you know, do what you can. Do as much economical and mental damage as you can. Knock them down slowly. A 7-5 half is not an impossible comeback, but momentum, they need these next couple rounds. They need these next 3 rounds to even stand a chance heading into the second half. But call me crazy, but I still think it's anyone's game.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, as well, I mean, Bayern's a very attack-sided map, so you'll be looking to try to get most of your rounds whenever we switch over towards that second half, but it's just going to be Aquila over towards A, and a 4-player stack towards long, but there's not going to be a single player there to receive it. Just slowly walking up over
my goodness.
Is
Sela backwards as Alice?
Volley.
Oh, well.
Did I just make that up, or is that...
No, I think that's probably the name.
Is that a thing? Are all of these names just names backwards? Zidlander? Ridnelix, maybe? I don't know. Showstopper from Goddess! Beautiful injury! Takes down Meech. Opens up showers. That was a gorgeous showstopper for Prestige, or for momentum here. Wait, no, yeah. Oh my goodness. Teams and words and whatnot, but Amy here, the fellow Rays, struggling to take some more space towards the back of sight. Spike does get planted, by the way. Zylander does find a beautiful headshot connecting on the fellow Sky, and now it's all chaos towards the back of sight. Zylander left in a 1 versus 2 after picking one up. Has to reload. You gotta reload those. Can they find a second? Yes, they do. What about a third? What about a third? No, the Dizzy! Oh, the Wingman. The Wingman defused out of absolutely nowhere. I wasn't even aware that Ibia even threw Wingman down, and I don't think in that moment that Zylander was aware themselves, and that is huge. That's a great defuse, a great round. It's going to give momentum, pun intended, a bit of momentum heading into this next round.
Yeah, and it is rough. I mean, that's one of the strengths of Gecko on that defense is you can throw them on the spike and you still are able to fight with your team against those retakers. Like I was saying, it's exactly how you want to be playing this map. And once again, it's the same setup over towards the A site. It's just Alice with this Molly just to delay a little bit. And it looks like we're going to be seeing this dog through, just getting that info. But all these players are going to be rotating through spawn. And bomb will go down. but they don't have any of those ultimates that they were using previously to get themselves back onto this A site. How will they approach this?
Spike planted. All 10 players still up.
Bomb buddy out.
Waiting. I believe that's Ika. One of them's Aki and one of them's Ika. I'm sorry. It's not our fault, okay? Same name. Now the retake underway here for Momentum. Goddess gets right on Spike. Oh! Gets shut down, though, by Zylander. Michi does pick up 2. Aki's there for a trade and a refrag. And 1 versus 2. Aki could be the W that Momentum's looking for, but time is running out. The Satchel, what a beautiful peek from Amy to solidify the 8th on the board for Prestige, and this is definitely looking like a Prestige first half. Momentum still able to get that 4th. If they do, it'll be a little nicer for them on the, a little bit more comfortable, just a smidgen more comfortable heading into the second half. But
and I gotta say, I think Aki's had this Viper's Pit for,
a fat minute.
I think round 4.
Yeah.
You want to commit that early, and finally on this 12th round, going to be using it. But at this point, it's so obvious where this pit is going to be, and we see that 5 players over towards A long.
It's a crazy gamble, and it doesn't pay off quite yet. But we'll have to see if the investment is worth it later in the round. But yeah, no, Aki actually backed off and got killed in the process. So Viper's Pit wasted. That's very unfortunate, but it's last round, so you know, you do what you can to do what you want. But that's after utter chaos down B long, a quick rotate here for Prestige and Momentum. I don't think they're gonna fully rotate quite yet. They're probably just gonna send one to scout it out.
Well, I think after so much time has been spent, they finally, the tap of the bomb will notify all these Momentum players, but it might be a little too late. They still have these Seekers online, so we'll be able to identify where each and every one of Prestige players are. Still a lot of utility to delay this post plant.
Time ticking here for the defense to get this retake fully underway. Shots being fired, very little damage, but Zylander peeks out of U-Haul. Does do a good amount of damage, but okay. Okay, well, Prestige 9-3. I'm gonna say it, Zero. I'm gonna say it. Momentum's only hope is a 9-3 curse.
Yeah, it might be, and funny enough, I think the only thing they're gonna be able to do to get back into this is get early momentum. And I hate saying that, but it is true. And they need to get this pistol rounds. They need to get the next and be pretty flawless if possible. But we're going to be seeing an early play, this tether nade combo over towards short. How ready is Momentum for this? They look set up, but also just, what is that thing called? The Flex is the little phone gadget. It's...
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Maybe a Game Boy? Who knows? Soleil somehow connecting a wallbang headshot onto Alice, question mark?
Yeah, the Haunt just lighting those players up and just having to back off, and just looked like they weren't set up to receive that hit, and now the jump spot from Amygdala.
Grenade!
Nade to stave off any aggression, and now doubling up. I love this play from Prestige. So coordinated, playing their fundamentals so well.
And very slow, too. They're playing time beautifully. Time is ticking. Momentum has to push sooner or later.
Poison's off.
Within the next minute, they have to make a decision whether they want to push through showers, engage this fight. It looks like they may be doing that with Aki's beautiful opening here. Amy forced to back off. Double satchel from Goddess takes care of the fellow Rays, cleans on up, and Nantaro picks up 2 for themselves. Aki with a quick trade. 2 versus 2 now.
So quick.
30 seconds left.
Was a solid flank. But is it going to pay off here? Spikes.
Spike planted.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Spike planted. Now it's a retake. 2 versus 2. Prestige.
No charges left.
They still have Dizzy as well.
One enemy remaining.
Oh man, that is a classic 2 versus 2. Both pairs essentially holding hands, peeking, trading peeks, and it worked in the favor of Momentum. And they seem to be, you know, it was only the first round, but they seem to have a little bit more of an understanding in this second half. But I do want to touch on the fact that Aki and Goddess of Love are currently a combined 25 kills.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I mean,
and they're still down by 5 rounds.
Top heavy scoreboard for sure. Yeah, and I mean, those are the players you'd like to see. I mean, Aki potentially going to be able to get this Viper's Pit online pretty early, excuse me, but an early fight, but Goddess of Love getting the first blood with those paint shells, and now and the map is all over the place. Look at it.
Oh man. Nyantaro sneaking up on Aki, but they're well aware. Scylla, meanwhile... Okay, yeah, Aki's going to be able to get away with their life there. But guess what? A-site is completely free to take. Prestige knows where all... Or, excuse me, Momentum knows where all the Prestige players are, but the other way around as well. But the numbers are dwindling for Prestige. Soleil looking to even things up. Amy, no! You gotta check those corners! Momentum seems to be a different team here in the second half. Now 2 rounds in a row. Again, only 2, but you can tell. Zero, I don't know about you, but I can tell there's a bit of a bit more pep in the step of Momentum here.
Yeah, and I think it does lean into how this comp is set up. I mean, you're really with that double initiator, the Raze, the Brim, and the Viper, you have so much util on these executes. You can just dump it early on, and then you still have some to actually hit the site. We saw the success of it that round, and once again, this aggression towards short, the smoke, as well as the haunt, just to clear that out. As we see, it's just Aki playing all the way back towards Sands. This is great information. That jump spot will be heard.
And again, both teams playing slow for that information. Amy, the swing, beautiful shots. Takes down Aki. The other Aki getting ready to entry to B site. They do essentially free and clear thanks to the AC-130 flying above. That is Goddess of Love. And just like that, 4 versus 3. My goodness, Zylander. Beautiful shots of their own. That regen shield is just doing wonders. But look at that, Amy with a paint shell. Oh no! Zylander was in the dog. Got snuck up on 2 versus 3 now. Beautiful movement here from Ibia. Amy goes down. 1 versus 1. Thrash comes out and no connection though. All Ibia has to do here is play time and make sure that Nyantaro doesn't get that defuse. But Nyantaro has got the bigger brain in that situation. Gets the kill. And solidifies the 10th on the board. We're in double digits, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more rounds for Prestige, and we're at match point. 3 more, and it's over. Momentum.
Yeah.
They gotta find momentum here.
Yeah, and a great start. I mean, we saw the aggression from Prestige early on down towards short, and there was no reaction from Momentum. They didn't aggressively push over towards B. They didn't go back and re-clear that space, and then Aki got punished, and then after that, Momentum was just kind of in a sticky situation, leaving it up to Ibia to clutch it out, but couldn't make that 3v1 a reality, and now still will have a bye. Once again, this early aggression, Mickey, is just...
It's paying off.
So, yeah.
It's risky. It's one heck of a gamble, but it seems to be working time and time again for Prestige. And I mean, at some point, Momentum's got to catch on to that and just start sitting a little bit further back and a little bit more defensive. But
just be set up to receive it.
Yeah, but so far they haven't adapted to that. Meanwhile, Momentum is going to be able to get Spike planted here at the opposite end of the map on A site here. And now it's a retake. Numbers are in favor of Prestige, so it's definitely doable, but it's also very doable for Momentum.
Silent on this flank.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my. Oh my. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's over. Prestige with an 11th round now. I mean, you gotta feel for Momentum here. Six L's in a row. That can't feel good, but you also kind of have to give them credit where credit is due. They're hanging on. They're still playing. They may not be getting the results that they want or need, but they're still trying, and you know that says something. But at the moment, they just they need to find something here. They need to find something to grab onto, because literally 2 more rounds and it's over. And 13-5 is not the scoreline you want.
They will be forcing into this as well. I mean, a Stinger for Goddess of Love, some Bulldogs, rifles for 3 of these players, but the ultimates on Prestige side, they can use them to get this 12th round, and then after that, it's only 1 more to push them towards that second map of Haven, their own map pick even. So need something now for momentum, or like we said, it's going to be a wraps and sending it over towards Haven, but still got some Valorant to play before then.
Yeah, no, there's still plenty of bind to be had. So it's entirely possible that we see a 6-round comeback here from momentum, but you never know. Knowing my luck, I just jinxed them and I caster cursed the heck out of that. But it's still, you know, it's possible if momentum, I'm going to say it again, if momentum builds enough momentum in these next couple rounds, it's still entirely possible that we can see a tie game. But the way Prestige is playing, they're just so solid on this defense, and there's you know, it starts to make me wonder, momentum, why y'all picked this map, bro? But no, but in all seriousness, I mean, it's still possible for momentum here. Oh, showstopper from Goddess, looking to clear a lot of space, and they do just that. Prestige is forced to back entirely off of site, but momentum is not taking full advantage here. They're on it, but Spike, there we go. Spike is going to get sent out.
Showstopper got nothing.
Showstopper ran out of time, essentially. Now Bo3 got it light, beautiful entry. But Michi is sticking it. Finally does go down at the Inferno hands, but Soleil, meanwhile, picks up 3. It's all down to Aki in a 1-on-3. Zylander, all they have to do is hold it for another 3.5 seconds. Aki has no idea that the defuse was even happening, and it's just so unfortunate. Yantaro shuts it down. Soleil, MVP of that round, picking up 3 and solidifying that retake to go in the favor of Prestige. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're at match point. Prestige is feeling real nice with a 7-round lead.
Yeah, and the wingman messing up the plant a little bit. Aki just wasn't even able to see it over towards that short position, but like you said, it is map point. I mean, you do have the Thrash online, only 1 away from the Seekers and the Orbital Strike, so something there, but Thrash will be popped pretty early on and not going to get anything, and they're not going to be able to retrieve that either.
Oh,
unless
they retrieve a bullet to the brain.
Yeah.
A couple of them. Oh, but Yantaro and Zylander got something to say about it. That's going to trigger a fat rotate from momentum here. They're going to have more than enough time to get this spike down if they play correctly here, but lack of information may be their downfall here. But no, Alice is going to go ahead. Yeah, yep. They got the abilities on the board. Both teams have abilities. They have ults on board. I mean, I think in terms of round 3 versus 3, never mind 3 versus 2, never mind 3 versus 1. Amy, okay, 1-man army. Everything's fine. Amy knows what they're doing. Amy knows how to play the game. Down to Ibia, and Ibia died. So Amy with a paint shell and a 3rd. That's going to be a big fat GG in the first map of the evening. 13-5 Prestige. Dominant does, I mean, Prestige living up to their name. Let's be honest. Dominant does not begin to describe what we just witnessed. That was absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to be honest. That was it was heartbreaking for momentum. Starting this matchup by losing 6 rounds in a row, not, to say the least, not how you want to start a map, 0. But but they fought, they held on for as long as they could, and unfortunately it just wasn't enough. But we do still have Haven in the mix, and it's not a best of 3 without Haven. But before we head to a break, 0, any final thoughts on map number 1?
No, I mean, I really, to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Momentum's game plan, especially over towards that defense, and I think it just kind of got punished.
I don't think they were either, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know if they would say they were, but And I mean, that was their map pick. I mean, you mentioned it kind of, but if that's the map you're picking, I don't know what we're going to be seeing when we go over towards Haven. Maybe it'll be a fresh look. Maybe it was just a little overconfidence from scrims, not really showing the full truth of Momentum's actual just kind of stature over towards Bind. So Haven going to be a completely different map, completely different play style. So we'll have to see how they approach that, how they decide to change their game plan for that. And for Prestige, I mean, once again, I'm going to be looking at Amygdala. I mean, it went insane on the Raze this map. And I mean, ever since the Neon nerfs, I think the Haven meta is pretty open. So I'm super excited to see where we're going to be going over towards that. But like you said, for that, we do have a quick little break. And then we should be back. But we will be sending it to that. So make sure not to go anywhere.
I mean, get water. Yeah, stay hydrated, please. Hydrate or dihydrate. You know, get some popcorn because it's still one hell of a show going on, even though the first map wasn't super amazing. It's fine. Everything's fine. Momentum's going to come back, man. They're going to come back. It's going to be 1-1. We're going to see a third map. Lotus is happening.
Lotus.
All right.
I'm manifesting it right now.
Yes. Yas Queen. Manifest it. Anyways, producer, hit the button. Get us off the screen. Jeez. Oh, my God. Well, Zero, that was a show to say the least. 13-5 is not exactly the scoreline you want to start off on in the series if you're momentum. But they have one more chance. It's going to be Haven. It is Prestige's pick. They're starting on defense. I'm ready for it. But again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tenax series. My name is Sir Mickey. I am joined by this lovely lad over here, Zero Fight. We're heading into the second map of the series. As I said before, Momentum, unfortunately, lost their map pick, starting off the series on Bind, 13-5, going in the favor of Prestige. Now we are headed to Haven, which is Prestige's pick. They're going to be starting on that defensive side. And right off the bat, Zero, what are we looking at in terms of, which side does this map favor is what I'm trying to ask here.
I mean, typically the attack side, as you see it with those 3-site maps, just because for the main reason of once one defender goes down, you just have more gaps to fill as well as more sites to hold. So it's just a bit more difficult. Typically, you see the advantage go towards the attackers, but it definitely can go counter and go over towards that defense as well. But it kind of just depends on the team, especially over here with these teams that a lot of the time play in game changers, or a lot of the like tier 2 or tier 3, even like co-ed teams. Sometimes those statistics, don't really transfer over, as a lot of the time it can just be who has the better micro and macro game plan on the day. But what I'm really excited to see, Mickey, is where these teams go, because I think this map is pretty open. I mean, last night we saw a little bit of that Neon versus Jet difference, with the Neon ultimately taking the victory at the end of the day. And, I think the Neon definitely kind of cut one of the foot off of her, but it definitely still has a lot of application and use. I mean, the run is still insane, as well as the slide. Still going to be getting some crazy kills, but some pretty standard comps coming out from both sides, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I feel Neon is still a very, very viable duelist, still one of the best in the game. But Goddess of Love seems to disagree. They're going to hop on Jet, so we're going to have a bit of a differentiation in playstyle. I mean, still, they're both kind of, let's get in there and do damage, but, it's different because I said it was different, and that we're just going to leave it at that. But I am very interested in the Breach Sova, or I like to say Brova combination here. The duo coming out here. I love the fact that we're seeing an Omen on both sides. The Brova is actually on both sides as well. I just noticed that. But I love the fact that we're getting the Omen, even though he did just receive a bit of a nerf recently, but it doesn't seem to, at least from my experience as a caster, it doesn't seem to have affected the pick rate. We saw a Viper last time. We saw a Viper and a Brim last match. Last night, I think we saw 1 or 2 Omens, and that was about it. But in general, I feel that Omen is, again, still very, very viable as a controller, still very good at locking down areas, but the main thing I'm keeping my eye on is both of these killjoys. A killjoy mirror, it's gonna be nice to watch, especially on the defense. Like you said, this is definitely an attacking sided map, so they're gonna need that killjoy to either sit mid or C site and just lock it down. And if that player goes down, or even anyone on the defense goes down, it's gonna be insane to fill that gap for that defense, or else the attack is just gonna slither on in and get stuff done.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to be looking towards. I mean, this Neon, you lose a lot of what you had over towards the defense. You're going to be looking to fight pretty aggressively over towards A, but you still have the high gear to really be able to rotate quickly, and we're going to see this fault line come out, Amygdala fighting down short, but nothing really here to receive this besides that turret will be notified, breaking it. As we see momentum gearing up towards this B site. B site will be claimed.
A little bit of a scuffle backside. Nanjaro, beautiful shots. Picks up 2. Not able to lock in the second. Aki from distance puts down the fellow Omen, and just like that, 2 versus 3 on the retake as Spike gets planted. Highlander and Soleil holding hands, looking for any information. The initiator duo. It's fun to watch these two play together, man, but I'm at least in terms of agents, but I'm really hoping they can get something done here. But fault line to slow things down.
One enemy.
Beautiful title. Here we go. Ibia. Beautiful 2-piece to grab that first round of the game. Momentum starting off nice on the attack.
Yeah, and a little bit of a switch up. I mean, they tapped the bomb over towards B and then instantly decided to pivot through over towards the C site and kind of just throw momentum for a loop, or prestige for a loop. Excuse me, I'm getting my team swapped up, and that's the piss round converted. That's what you want to be seeing. Maybe try to build up some early money, but full buy into this, and
oh man,
a quick punish.
Nice aftershock, nice utilization of the breach utility to slow down that push, but didn't have a lasting effect, but it still did stuff, and that's the important part, right? But just over a minute on the clock here. Again, we were seeing this last round. We've seen a lot last night where these teams, I feel like the higher in the rank you go, the slower the rounds get played out, because these teams start to take a minute, gather some information. Guys, where do we want to set up this round? Make sure we're having our angles covered. But right now, it looks like momentum may be looking for a C site push, but that Killjoy turret may just be their downfall.
It'll get some info, and you'll see these players push through, maybe just try to get one onto Alice, who's kind of just sticking around, but the rotate is going back over towards A.
Oh,
Not
man.
aware of the second.
Down, attacker spawn.
Alice somehow gets away with their life, but
that was just a
not
mad dash.
oh man, not enough done to slow down this push to A side. But look at Aki, ready and waiting with the hero Vandal. It pays off. That economy, that was a gamble to buy that weapon, and it paid off in dividends. And there we go, 2 in a row for momentum, already looking like a very different roster from that Bind matchup.
Yeah, and was able to, I mean, pretty quickly do some good damage. I mean, was able to get 2 of those rifles out of Momentum's hands now with 3, and then just a couple pistols for Ibia and Goddess of Love. So actually deciding to make that switch to give Goddess of Love that Vandal to try to set them up for as much success as possible. I love this attacking smoke. This way, oh look, there's a little gap in it. That's so much damage. They're so aware of this.
How is Amy alive right now? 2 HP in a dream.
They're aware, but I mean, they just assume that surely they're dead after all of that spamming. But
yeah, at the very least, they
quite.
dipped out, went the other direction, but Amy's still holding that angle.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's going to be playing this slow, and even so, I mean, Ika coming to play with their teammates.
Oh, look at this. No! Oh, it's all about the timing. They get spotted out the last possible second. Goddess and company start their path to A site, but they're going to go ahead and back off. That really was.
Tunnel vision so hard on to Soleil or onto Ika. And now
30 seconds left.
this site should be pretty free. If they can get this bomb down, they definitely have a chance into this, but for the other side, I mean, Momentum can be looking to convert this bonus and get themselves
Spike
onto
planted.
the strong start in the second half of Haven.
Take underway here. Prestige. Yantaro taking some shots, not going to be able to get anything done here. Aki. Oh, okay. Ika picks up a 3-piece. Momentum is gaining that momentum 3 rounds in a row. It's a far cry from the first half of Bind where they received 6 losses in a row. It's definitely got to feel nice turning this thing around. And as a wise man once said, oh, how the turntables.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, like you were saying, I mean, they were down 0-6, excuse me, over towards Binds, and gonna be looking to return the favor here, and an aggressive play over towards A long once again. Not really committing towards the short position, and Amygdala going down early for the 3rd round in a row, and this aggression is getting punished constantly. It was working out so well on Bind, and not really able to capitalize off of it as much over here on Haven.
Player down for Prestige. Still plenty of time for Momentum to build towards one of these 3 sites, but there they go, the entry. A bit of a panic spray there. It's fine. Everything's fine. Goddess does get rid of the turret. The information has been gathered for Prestige. Look at Yantaro getting up close and personal, but no dice. My goodness. Alice does some beautiful damage there. Michi has no idea that there's people 6.5 inches in front of them. But
30 seconds left.
Unfortunately,
Spike planted.
Alice gonna go ahead and take down the fellow Killjoy, and all of a sudden it's a 2 versus 5 on the retake for Prestige.
This is rough. And I mean, if you're
man.
Momentum, I mean, you even can go hunting for some of these. I mean, send Ibia over towards the site, try to pick up some ultimate orbs. You're only 2 away from that Rolling Thunder, but it will go to Aki. And that's the 4th round now, Mickey. And I mean, 2 flawless in a row. Look at the economy. I mean, almost full money for every single player here. I mean, if you're on that Momentum side, I mean, you have money for the next 3, 4, maybe even 5 rounds on top of the ult economy that you're currently building. So they're looking strong to start off this attack half.
Yeah, and Prestige finally going to call that timeout after taking 4 rounds to the face. They decide, all right, something's not working here. Prestige picked this map for a reason, right? Let's figure out what that reason is. I would assume that they picked Haven because they're solid on both sides. And obviously we're still very early in the game, only 4 rounds. You know, I'm not going to make any early calls yet, but it's not looking good so far. So there has to be a reason that Prestige picked this map. Maybe they're amazing at it, and they just need some time to get warmed up. Maybe they're hoping Momentum chokes here. I really don't know. But yeah, Prestige, they have to find something here within the next couple rounds, or that second half is just going to be miserable, even with them on the favored side of attack.
Yeah, and a great IGL, great man once said on this very map, Mr. Phoenix himself, just give me 3, and I will do everything else. And I mean, we can see the same for Prestige once that side swaps, but they want to start building up some rounds now. I mean, while this is just the first week, Mickey, you want to start getting some game wins under your belt so then you can lock yourself in early for playoffs, not have to reveal as much in those later weeks. And I mean, we see momentum definitely not bowing out quite yet.
Ooh, Amy, beautiful headshot. Takes down Alice. That was the advantage, the numbers advantage, the Prestige needed, that they have needed for the last couple rounds. They need to get those fraggers off the board. And momentum starting to feel the pressure here. Down to 3 players, less than a minute on the clock. They need to find a place for that spike to be planted. But look, Zero, look at this mini-map. Prestige is set up so perfectly. They have Killjoy alarm bots. It's the middle of the round. It's towards the end of the round. They have Killjoy set up at C. Killjoy and Omen sitting in garage. I mean, every angle is covered across the map. 2 on A, 1 on B. They're looking very solid defensively, and momentum can't seem to find a crack to slip through.
No, I mean, this is almost a perfect setup. Niantaro trying to do the one way that is no longer in the game, seeing that smoke fall to the ground. And yeah, TP will come through. Onto site finally, and
that movement
this might be what they need.
They might not expect Ika here. Or
10
Aki.
seconds left.
Which one is that?
I think Omen is Aki.
Okay, they might not expect Aki in this position here because of the teleport, but never mind. The wallbang comes through. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking and let them do their thing. Prestige, finally going to grab that first on the board. Momentum
Flawless.
has been pretty solid the last couple rounds, but Prestige finally finds a way to at least slow down that momentum. But the good news for MMT here is they got money, like you said. Even if they lose 2-3 rounds in a row, they're still going to have money. I mean, Alice may be starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel with the next couple rounds, but they still have rifles on the board for now. At the very least, they're going to have rifles next round. If they get proper kills, they'll have more rifles. You know, I think momentum in terms of money, I think they're chilling right now, but Prestige has to find a way to really shut them down on the money side.
And we saw this play come out from the defense, the fault line, as well as the walk up over towards C long. But on the other side of the map, just the standard A default, and so quickly Amygdala is in this back line, not any Killjoy utility to make aware of this. And now 4 players working this flank. This is so quick.
Found them.
Just all of a sudden, momentum almost has control of A site. Time is ticking though, but look at the flank forming in the back of the line from Prestige here. Could be momentum's downfall here, but they do have somebody watching that angle. But
off your feet!
It looks like A. Oh, there we go. Rolling Thunder actually doesn't connect with anyone. That is very unfortunate to see a waste of an ult like that. But Michi picks up 2. Amy's there for another one. Soleil finishes it off, and that's a flawless round in the blink of an eye from Prestige. And they're starting to get a grip here. They're starting to gain a foothold here on Haven, and honestly, it's about time. 4 rounds starting off, just losing 4 in a row doesn't feel good. We saw something similar in the first map where momentum lost 6 in a row. So I mean, you know, they're starting to feel each other's pain here. But Prestige definitely has a chance to lock in here and shut stuff down. But momentum still has the money.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be going into a little bit of a tech pause. And like you said, I mean, they got 4 rounds in a row for the side of momentum, but then instantly, I mean, 2 flawlesses in response from Prestige, and almost so quickly, the economy has kind of been flipped on its head. We see, I mean, at minimum 4,500 credits and rifles already online for all the Prestige players. I mean, momentum still has a buy for these next 2 rounds themselves, but very quickly is getting back to a very tight game, and we are going to be hopping right back into this one, and we'll have to see. I mean, momentum, they weren't really super prepared for that quick flank in round number 6. The aggression finally working again, but how does it actually pan out?
I don't know, but we're getting a lot of furry stuff in chat. I'm really glad that the Twitch chat can't see this. All right, but that's an important question, Yantaro. Thank you. I've been seeing this in Twitch chat the entire time. Wingstop or Cane's? Personally, I think Buffalo Wild Wings beats them both if we're going to bring wings into the chicken argument. But, you know, it's each their own. You know, be respectful to each other's food opinions. But I don't know, Zero. I kind of have to know Wingstop or Cane's.
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest. I've never had Wingstop.
You're not missing anything. In my opinion, it's just cardboard dipped in sauce.
I will
honestly.
say I'm a pretty big Cane's fan. Except, okay, I like the sauce. I'm rocking with the sauce. I like the bread.
Yes.
The chicken.
That Texas toast is like the best thing on Cane's menu, bro.
Yeah, but without the sauce, what is Cane's? Without the sauce, I don't know if I can rock with the chicken by itself. You know, like Chick-fil-A chicken tenders.
You know, that's fair.
Those I can grab and I can eat like 4 of those by themselves. Maybe even like 6, 7. Little chicken strip sandwich if you know the tech.
I think it's something that's really important about chicken is like if it's juicy, you don't necessarily need the sauce. And I have a buddy that every day after work, he would go to Chick-fil-A and then he would go to Cane's. He would get chicken at Chick-fil-A and then go to Cane's and get the sauce. And I think that's the move, honestly. Because, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Chick-fil-A sauce is okay. It's pretty good. But, like, I don't know, Cane's sauce does something different.
Cane's sauce clears.
Yeah, no, it really does. But if we're adding wings into the conversation at all, I really think Buffalo Wild Wings, depending on the location, I think they can really clear in terms of that meat, man. There's something different in that food. Maybe it's just the fact that we can watch ESL on the TV in the
I'm a B-dubs, not a hater, but I can't have their wings, so I only get their burgers. And those burgers, I saw a TikTok calling me out the other day about, you don't get, who goes to B-dubs and gets a burger? They're pretty good, man. I mean, they got little smash burgers with fries. Like you said, they got ESL, like, can't go wrong.
They have legitimate esports on the TV. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. But anyways, what were we talking about?
We've derailed this so far.
Maybe it's the ADD. Shout out to our observer and producer Multitudes for putting up with our shenanigans all night last night with Hydrox and I. That was just ADHD incarnate, and tonight I feel like it's even worse. But Multitude's always putting on a phenomenal show. Shout out to Ice Fire Eye for helping put this together. Tenax GG, everybody involved. This has been it's always fun. Whenever they hit me up, they're like, "Hey Mickey, you want to cast tonight?" I'm like, "Yes, please. I love Tenax. I love it. This is honestly such a great platform for newer teams or growing teams to show up and show off and show us what they can do and who they want to be, and it's a great place for them to build to become that team and that roster. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Tenax series is great. Just showcase of some of these game changers teams. I mean, we saw last series. I mean, some of them even going as far as top 8 in the GC main event. So a great showcase of just phenomenal teams and phenomenal players. Some of the great up and comers that we'll see. I mean, we've even seen some long-standing players. I mean, Abby 2K we saw yesterday playing.
Yeah.
Some players like Zylander coming back from the last 10.
I'm sorry. I really hate to interrupt you. I apologize, but I have to put a stop to this diabolical things happening in chat right now. Someone is claiming Zaxby's. You're not even in the competition, bro. What are you talking about? Zaxby's? You're connected to gas stations. You're KFC. Relax.
Hey,
Zaxby's not even in the conversation.
Don't disrespect KFC. I just gotta put that out there. But Zaxby's
KFC slaps. No, KFC slaps. But like, I don't know. I like their corn bowl things. Their mac and cheese.
That is pretty good. But we're gonna be getting back
into
this game actually. It's just a walk down over towards middle. I'm just gonna break that turret early. Excuse me. Prestige or momentum. Excuse me. Just holding any aggression, seeing if they're going to play a little further like they did in the round prior. Don't forget, that was a flawless round with that quad flank. The jump spot being deterred, and as far as ultimates go, some pretty powerful ones online. So quickly, 4 players positioned over towards this C site, ready to hold it down.
Yeah, but I think Momentum is starting to read that. They're starting to play slow themselves. Very little information gathered from either team here, but Momentum needs to make a decision on where they want to go. And with 45 seconds on the clock, they need to get moving here. But it looks like an A push, but they're going to have a tough time getting through all that Killjoy utility. So that's going to be fun to watch.
None of it's been triggered either. That'll be the first bit of info, and
30 seconds left.
you have one player here, Amygdala, towards that heaven position, but you're not really in a great pause to actually fight for this site. You'll be looking to play for that retake with that Killjoy lockdown, but the mad dash back over towards this C site, and Antero, paranoia in hands. Time's running low.
No charges left.
And Spike died somehow get planted amidst all the chaos. Zylander and Amy holding hands, getting it done. Amy gets up close and personal with the Palpatine fingers, takes down a third. Michi there to follow it up and shut it down. The defuse comes through, and Prestige captures their third round.
Kill them before they kill us.
And that's the power of the Neon coming out on the defense. Even if you don't have as much utility with the nerf of taking away at one of those slides, you still have that high gear to be able to rotate very quickly across these 3 site maps and support your team wherever they need. The overdrive was popped as well to just flood back in and just destroy the Momentum players. And now, from an 0-4 start, very quickly, the gap has been closed little by little. And once again, this aggression on the defense side, just getting these deep pauses as they're farming these ultimate orbs as well, and the defense just content in their position.
Look at this, Ibia. Does read Soleil like a book.
Yeah, kind of caught in the middle of no man's land there, just sitting around in mid, and now Amygdala needs to get out here, spotted. Will pop that fast lane to or run away, excuse me. But Momentum need to decide what they're doing here. They really don't have any map control.
Cover going out.
Deciding to, okay, maybe we can go over towards this C site, but we saw how it went last round. Can it be any different?
Oh man, Bladestorm not gonna do what they needed to do. Amy picks up one with the help of Zylander. They clear sight. Spike has been dropped. 30 seconds for Momentum to do whatever they need to do to get this round back in their favor. That evens things up. Aki with a beautiful headshot. Zylander, the Girthquake coming out here to slow down that push. Alice coming through, rocks around the corner, picks up the fellow Killjoy. A trade, another trade for Ika to shut it down. 5 rounds now on the board for Momentum after a bit of a break. 3 losses in a row here. Not feeling too hot. They're able to keep it together, able to stay in charge here, and it's feeling a little bit more comfortable for Momentum, but Prestige is not far behind. 2-round deficits are not impossible to come back from, and I really think it's going to come down to this second half. I think this first half so far, you know, there's been a streak here, a streak there, but I think it's going to be full-on tug-of-war in this second half.
Yeah, it should be, but a response, like you said, from Momentum, and a good one at that. Amygdala always going aggressive here. Got punished playing in this position once before. How ready for it is Prestige? Will they clear it out?
Our spike carrier is dead.
Oh,
Spike down mid. This way.
Peek and
I got the spike.
this is not what you want if you are side of Momentum. 2 early kills. Impactful ones at that.
Nice and slow for both teams. Biding time. Clearing out. 45 on the clock here. Got us with Spike in the back. Essentially trapped in garage with Aki on their back. And it's not looking good as Amy closes the gap with the flank, but Aki was ready for it. Or Ika was ready for it. Jeez, dude.
And I mean, kind of look, I mean, the reclear finally is coming out. There's no one here on this A site, and we're seeing Sole, excuse me, will be able to hear the rotates come through the stun as well as the Hunter's Fury.
The Hunter's Fury does enough for Nyantaro to finish him off. And Ika now. This one's Ika, right?
This one's Aki.
Aki, okay, Aki's the controller, Ika's in it. We're figuring it out, chat.
Eventually, slowly but surely. It is.
We're getting there. It's not our fault.
It is a little confusing, I gotta say, but I mean, a great response rounds, Mickey, from the side of Prestige, and that is gonna force the money pretty low for momentum.
That is what they needed, closing that gap. Slowly but surely closing that gap. Giving themselves some room to work with here. Just one more, and they'll have a little bit more of an even playing field here. But like you said, I mean, the money for momentum not feeling too hot right now.
Yeah. And Amygdala bringing out the operator. It will be notified pretty early on, breaking that turret.
But Amy's still all the way down towards A sewers here. But Zylander, meanwhile, picks up 2. Rolling Thunder comes out. That's a beautiful ultimate. Does exactly what they needed it to. Just pushes everyone off of that angle. Buys themselves some more time to retake. Zylander picks up a 3rd. Finally does get shut down by Alos, who picks up a 2nd and a 3rd. 1 versus 1, but Nyantaro's got something to say. 5-5. It's all tied up. And this is officially the closest this series has been all night. And I mean, again, it's 2nd map, but that's saying something. I mean, it was a 6-0 start at the start of the 1st game, and now it's tied up. I really didn't think this is what we were going to see based off of just Momentum's performance from that bind match. I really, I was saddened because I wasn't 100% certain that we were going to see a fight like this, and I'm so glad that they're proving me wrong right now, because this is so much fun to watch.
And I think you just kind of have to go into this. I mean, look at these teams on a map-by-map basis rather than as just an overall kind of deal. Is a completely different look to Momentum that we've seen, like you said. And this round, I mean, some huge ultimates online as well. That lockdown as well as the Hunter's Fury. Secure the Amygdala on this flank. Cosmetic Sun, okay.
There we go. Michi picks up 1 and the 2nd.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh man, Ika gets in the mix with a Sheriff and a Dream. 1 versus 2. No, Nyantaro gonna shut down the fellow Omen. There we go. Prestige finally getting the upper hand here, and I think I just gotta say, I think it's hilarious that someone in chat has stated, and I quote, "My girlfriend is Aki, but I have no idea which one to hype up." I think even, like, that's hilarious. Even they don't know. They don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. I don't think Aki or Ika or Akika, they don't even know what's going on. They're just here to click heads.
We're just vibing.
We're just vibing. We're really just vibing. Is that an Odin? That's an Odin. Soleil's gonna do the thing.
I think it is, and
they're
just spams through that or the
everything
wall over towards short. Yeah, I mean, you are able to do it.
Oh, Amy! There we go. I've been waiting for that. I knew it was gonna connect at some point or other. The operator finally paying off, but that Odin is still up from Prestige here. But Amy gonna go ahead and swap to that Vandal and I mean, Economy. You know, they got it. Why not use it, Amy? Well, there we go. That exact spot did not come to fruition earlier in the matchup. They try it one more time and pick up a 2nd and a 3rd. And just like that, it's a 3-player deficit for Momentum. And it's a 2-player push. and they're committing, it looks like. And what's hilarious about this whole situation, Prestige still has 2 players, 3 players, not even close to A site, and the round's almost over. They just sat there the whole time. Rolling Thunder for Ibian and company, but no, they get shut down so quick. Alice finally does get a pick in the favor of Prestige, a second to follow it up. 1 versus 2. Spike has been recovered. There's no time to rotate, no time to do anything except push site, get that spike down, and do whatever you can to capture the round, or at the very least, well, I was going to say do economical damage, but this is the last round. They have to get this here.
The lockdown as well, it's so difficult.
Why are you picking? Why are you picking that?
I mean, there's nothing to do. You gotta take the fight. And
oh, you have to. Okay, no, my brain broke. I thought that was their ultimate, and I got really confused as to why they're peeking out. Okay, no, I'm bad at what I do. I apologize. Everything's fine. I got excited. 7 to 5. Prestige favored in that first half, not by a huge margin, but they're definitely in charge here.
Yeah, and I will say the ultimate economy, just the management of it from Momentum has not been great. I mean, they had 4 ultimates there in that last round, 3 in the round before, and we were seeing it kind of on bind as well. And swapping over towards this defense half where you're not as favored, you were up 4-0, now down 5-7. If they want a chance in this defense, I'm going to be looking for 2 things. An operator online pretty early for Love Goddess, and then the ults need to be cycled well, but a quick C hit to start off this half.
Oh, man. Great fault line, great recon dart. That's why we love the Brova combo. One gets the information, the other one stuns the information.
Spike planted.
Just like that, C site is cleared up and swallowed whole by Prestige on the attack side. Alice takes down the fellow Killjoy down mid. That's going to be the Sentinel off the board for that post-plant retake, or for the post-plant defense, I should say here. But C is just covered in red, and all 5 players from Momentum are about to flood out of the garage. Ivia somehow, no, I was going to say somehow survives it, but no, does get taken down eventually. It comes down to Soleil in a 1 versus 3. Ika on the defuse. They're defusing. There's no, the round's over. It's okay. It's a solid effort from Soleil. There was not much they were going to be able to do there. Spike was not planning for them at all. The timing, the angles just weren't there, and it is going to be a Prestige, or excuse me, a Momentum round.
Yeah, and that is the second pistol round going their way, and while maybe the rifle rounds haven't been exactly what you want to see, if you're able to get these pistols, it's a huge boost to your economy, both for just money and credits, as well as the ults, and we're going to be seeing Goddess of Love get that Outlaw online early, as well as just being gifted it so they can receive that operator as well. I love to see that. And now...
oh, Goddess, 2 shots now, both not connecting to targets. Amy gets up close and personal with the Bucky, does take down Ibia, but the trade comes out. Aki doing some work. Xylander now getting involved with her own Bucky. The Bucky on attack side is doing something different, but Ika's got something to say, as does Aki, and here we go. Nice little cleanup from the Iki-Aki duo here, the best friend buff like we were talking about earlier. That operator is still on the board from Goddess. I mean, they didn't do anything with it last round, but it's still up, so there's still potential for some downright nasty plays to be had here, but it's all tied up, and at this point, it's still anyone's game here, Zero.
Yeah, and I would honestly even be looking at the economy. Not a single player has enough credits, except for Michi, excuse me, to buy full armor, so Goddess of Love could even have gone for that Outlaw for 2 rounds in a row, but will opt for the operator, post it up early towards the short position, but Amygdala doesn't care.
Amy getting aggressive, and it pays off with the help of Xylander. It took a good amount of damage there, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them at all. They're still playing that aggressive Neon that we love to see, but also hate to experience when it's on the other team. And Sovas are going at it now. Goddess, beautiful shot. There's that operator coming into play. Suddenly, both teams dropping like flies. The retake, 2 versus 2 for Momentum. It's doable for both teams. Michi comes out of nowhere, sprays one down, but Aki is quick to react. Shuts it down. You gotta defuse though, homie. That's the important part. There you go. It's fine. 8 to 7. Momentum somehow is still, I don't, maybe not still, but they're going. They're going, man.
Yeah, and I mean the push through the smoke
do you say,
with the
Drone?
flash,
Ready to
I
stretch
loved
your
that
wings?
from Prestige. It unfortunately wasn't able to go their way, as I mean just set up for some great shots out of Goddess of Love with that operator, and now it will be picked up. The bonus as well converted once again. But we saw this last half, Mickey was Momentum was able to get the first 4 rounds, but after that kind of fell flat. But they need to see, I mean, we'll have to see if they kind of have a repeat or if they can turn it around and push us towards that map number 3 of Lotus. Now, just a little bit of a lull in the round. Walk up, and now Aki.
No, that's Ika.
I think Ika's the initiator.
I don't know, man.
It's all over.
Don't listen to me.
All over the place.
I'm just gonna say Omen. Honestly, I'm just gonna Sova now. Aldrone gets that information. Possible window of opportunity here for Momentum to come on into this. Beautiful paranoia. And unfortunately, captured some more teammates in it. Oh, there we go. Rolling Thunder. That could be the entry. Amy does put down Goddess. That's huge. That fragger off the board. Soleil does the same to Ibia. This is pistols, by the way, from Prestige. Soleil unable to hit those final shots. Amy, though, doing work on site. 2 versus 3. The retake is struggling to even really begin here, and there's no chance that Momentum's going to be able to fully get on site and successfully get this job done. So Aki's best hope here is just to play for picks. Picks up 2 of them beautifully, but Amy is there for that eventual trade, capturing a thrifty round. Again, 0. It's still all tied up, 8-8. This is a full-on tug of war right now.
Oh, most definitely it is, and for the Momentum side, not able to continue that streak of rounds towards the 4th, but Goddess of Love will be able to pick up the operator once more. Had enough money to bring it into this one, and once again, they love posting up over towards the short position, and this fault line will assist in doing so.
Oh, no dice. Oh, no dice for Goddess. That's gotta hurt. Amy, though, oh my goodness. Okay, gets laid out. Thought for sure we're gonna see some nasty things happen there, but no dice from them as well. Soleil and Highlander come inside the smoke doing work. And Ika, there we go.
Spike down A.
Starting things off. Nice trade from Yantaro. A minute on the clock. Spike gonna get planted here.
Spike planted.
2 members left standing for Momentum. Time is ticking. But the clock just reset, so they do have a little bit of time to play with here, but not much. It's these angles I'm worried about.
Yeah, you still have the Hunter's Fury in the back pocket for Soleil.
And all Prestige has to do here is play time and just cause chaos. And it kind of, yeah, no, it worked. It worked. Nyantaro picks up a 4K to shut it down. 9-8 Prestige. I mean, this is still, I mean, this is the closest that we've seen, at least this, this season. This is only the second series of the season, by the way. But I mean, all in all, it's shaping up to be one hell of a series. And I really, you were talking about the possibility of Lotus, and I hope so. I genuinely hope so, because last night, Nightshade and Harmony didn't allow us to get to that 3rd map, but they made up for it in the fact that we had a double overtime in the first one. So I'll give it to them. But I would love to see Lotus. With these 2 teams, I mean, that first map, it really, with the way Momentum is playing right now, it felt like Bind was a fluke, and that they truly do know how to play this game, and they know what to do here. But, I mean, it's still anyone's game, 8-9. It's still so close.
Yeah, and, I mean, as it was going on, the site is taken. It's flank. Shut down!
Oh, man.
Last player standing.
Oh, man. It's all down to Omen here. Okay, That did very little damage. I really feel like that Bucky should have done a little bit more damage. They might have went with the right click instead, though. But Nyantaro going to continue that gunfight dominance. I mean, Nyantaro's 6. We have both Omens are 16 and 10 right now. I mean, and look at how close the kills are in general. I mean, that scoreboard is kind of insane to look at. Just the kills in general for at least the 3 top fraggers on either side. They're so close. I mean, 32 plus another 16 plus 10 on the side of Momentum. But then on the other side, it's really not that far off.
Yeah, it's not at all. And the timeout will be called from Momentum's coach VNG here. And they'll be looking to turn this around. They need to steady their ship. And this is the round to do it. If they lose this, their economy is broken. They have the 3 ultimates online, only 3 away from Ibia's Rolling Thunder as well. They need to commit this. They need to get themselves back into this game. They can't let it flip away any further. But on the other side, I mean, Prestige are looking set up for success. I mean, Michi 2 away from a lockdown of their own. And, I mean, this aggression has been working out for the attack side of Prestige. And I wouldn't be surprised if they continue it. I mean, on both maps, Bind and Haven, we've seen this aggression pay off time and time again. Excuse me.
Placing swarm grenade.
Yeah, I mean, but Momentum, like you said, they need to find something here. They need to grab a hold of something and hold on for dear life and ensure that Prestige does not get to match point. But so far, Prestige is, you know, I don't want to say a super comfortable lead, but 2 rounds is nice. You only need 2 more for match point. And if they hit 3 more, then that's the series. So Momentum really have to find some ground here. That's a nice Hunter's Fury coming out. A bit of damage, nothing too insane though, but Michi does pick off Ika here. Ibia, my goodness, Michi picks up 2 and 3. Beautiful spray control. How 0? Because they ran into the bullets. That's how. How are they? How do they live through that? I have no idea.
That's the round, I think. I mean, there's no way Niantro has this paranoia.
1 enemy remaining.
Yeah, nope. Yeah. Amy and Nyanta, they're just too aggressive. They get so in your face that it's just almost impossible to deal with them, especially Neon in general. I mean, it just, you know, Neon's whole kit is based on pew pew, Barry Allen zoom, and if you know how to use that correctly, it's just impossible to deal with, and it's really showing up here. But I am terrified for the money side of Momentum. They are rocking a maximum of 2,000 credits here, and that's, I mean, that's on one of the 2 Akis. So I mean, they have a Marshal on board, so that could help them out a little bit, but it's, you know, it's looking already like match point for Prestige here.
It's as well, they were stacking over towards A, just gave up C, decided, okay, we'll take this gamble. But with that, you're kind of just deciding, yeah, we're okay going to overtime.
Spike planted.
And if they get, or if Prestige gets this 12th round, Momentum needs 4 in a row, and the ultimates are looking nice for the side of Prestige, so it's going to be difficult to get back into this.
Difficult does not begin to describe the journey that Momentum is going to have to go on if they lose 1 more round. I mean, match point, they can't let it go. Aftershock, beautiful work from Zylander, turned around, my goodness! He read Prestige like a book! Read Momentum like a book, excuse me. Hunter's Fury, meanwhile, from Soleil, a lot of abilities coming out this round. Good amount of damage from the Hunter's Fury, does pick up Ibia, but it comes down to this right here. The thrifty, sneaky beaky like defuse. Soleil can do nothing to stop it, and Momentum stays in it just a little bit longer.
And that's the bit of life that they needed. That's the miracle round Momentum wanted. They had to have some life into this map of Haven, and they need to not let it be for granted. They need to get this round as well, or like I said, I mean, it can be pretty difficult. Both 3 ultimates for each team, and no operators for Goddess of Love, so just the rifle in hands. And a slow start for Prestige, deciding to switch up the pace.
It could be a lead here, but early pick onto Omen. That controller down. No more smokes for momentum. It's going to be hard to lock down sites when they can see your every move, but they still have that Killjoy set up on C site leading into garage, so they still have the sentinelity, they still have a little bit of defensiveness here. But on the other side of the map, they're going to have to rely on pure aim from that Jet and Soba set up at A site.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they are going to have to just rely on their mechanical prowess. We know how good these players can be. I mean, that's one of, I would say, a lot of these players' biggest strengths are their mechanics. So we'll have to see, can they frag out here?
Oh, there we go. The Rolling Thunders. One to counter, though. Ibia with their own Rolling Thunder.
Ultimate's being traded back and forth.
Oh, man. And just like that, it's 2 versus 5. Goddess of Love up top. Beautiful shots on his Soleil. Drops the brain. But Amy looking to even things out. No. Gonna get taken out themselves. Michi down long. Telegraphing their position. Double, you know what? Double Rolling Thunder. Double Killjoy lockdowns. I'm here for it. Everyone's using everything to get this done. Prestige with the man advantage here. They could get it done. At least match point. They just need one more. They just need to make sure this plant goes off without a hitch. All they have to do is play time. And Alice, unfortunately, is not going to be able to get it done. Yantaro finishes off yet again. And ladies and gentlemen, we're at match point.
We are indeed in a strong one to get us there. A strong round, excuse me, to get us there. And like you said, Lockdown and Rolling Thunders were traded back and forth, and now, like, yeah, the money not looking good. We have Aki with one Phantom, everyone else with Bulldogs or a Sheriff. I mean, Goddess of Love could get that Bladestorm online, drop the Bulldog over towards Ibia. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going for momentum.
Bladestorm comes out for Goddess. That ultimate, those headshots could be exactly what momentum needs. They just need 3 more to tie it up, to bring us into that overtime. But at this point, Prestige, the last few rounds they have played so solid. I don't know if momentum has it in them, especially with the equipment they have right now. They're not doing too hot on rifles.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to be able to defend against this team.
This drone will clear Goddess out, or actually, oh, it wasn't checked, but the drone was broken, which will give out that information. And this defense drone will spot these players leaving as well. Goddess of Love able to get one, and that's a great start. That's your info down. But look at this look from Michi.
Solid pick. Gets peppered up, but oh my goodness, doesn't matter. You can shoot Michi as much as you want. They're going to flick on your brain. But Ibia flicks on Michi's brain. Now you know how it feels, champ.
Blinding.
Dose of your own medicine. We're still at match point, 20 seconds on the clock. Bladestorm not going to do what they needed to do. No, my God, Yantaro with a 3-piece to end it off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2-0 series in favor of Prestige XOXO. My goodness gracious. I have to just, like, for a second appreciate how close that map was. Up until a certain point, you know, both teams had leads here and there. They both had streaks here and there, but all in all, it was a tug of war the whole way through.
It definitely was, and to be honest, I mean, a lot of the life that was given to momentum on this second map was based off of those pistol rounds getting up some early economy and momentum. But outside of that, the rifle rounds, I mean, Prestige was coming out firing, and a lot of that, I mean, to be honest, I mean, Yantaro, I think Linz, I mean, just solo won 3 rounds just on their own, which is just
I mean, they ended with a
Omen.
260 combat score.
Yeah, like, I mean, only one first blood, but I think I at least remember a 4K, a 3K, just disgusting work from the controller player, and
multi
I mean, you can't ask for much better than that.
You really can't. Like you said, as a controller, that's not exactly your job to go in and get kills. But I mean, if you need to, go for it. I'm happy to see the non-damage dual or non-damage agents go in and get it done, especially if, if I'm a duelist and I'm lacking in my department, go for it, Sentinel, go for it, controller, do what you need to do. As long as it's not messing with the entire flow of the team, which Nyantaro definitely was not upsetting anyone on their team. 22-11, Zylander right behind them, 18-13. And then what's crazy is on the other side, you can't even sit here and tell me that the gunfights were what won Prestige that matchup. You can't tell me, because if we look at the numbers, they're very close. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we can get them on screen for you guys, but trust me, it's close. I mean, even the two bottom fraggers were 2 kills off each other, 4 deaths off each other. I mean, it was just a tug of war the whole time, and it may not seem like it based off that first map, but I mean, it was essentially, I don't want to say it was a shutout on Bind, but it wasn't a comfortable ending to a game, especially not a comfortable start to a series for Momentum. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Momentum came back. They held on for dear life for as long as they possibly could. But at the end of the day, it just barely was not enough. 3-round difference on that match point. And then all of a sudden, the game was over. And Prestige, living up to that name, has proven that they belong here at Tenax. And they have proven that they have what it takes to go even further than Tenax.
Oh, for sure. And I'll be excited to see where they continue to grow. I mean, for both of these teams, I think, Mickey, I mean, this is only week 1, so there's plenty of matches still to play, as well as playoffs. So I'll be looking forward to see how these teams grow throughout the next coming weeks, because I think there's a lot of potential for both of these teams. I mean, Momentum, certainly not out of the question yet. And Prestige, I mean, tons of stuff to build upon. I mean, I like the idea with the Neon. I mean, you can just kind of send Amygdala in, and then you have so many mechanical, just like heavy focus players that just can frag out, that you can kind of just like Victor and Yay scenario most of these maps. And I think we'll see more success with that. I mean, it's a very Neon Rays heavy map pool. So I'm just super excited to see where these teams end up going and how they develop through this season. But that's going to be all for us tonight, I believe. I mean, just one match for tonight, and it was a great one to start us off for the week.
It was definitely, I mean,
for the week.
Yeah, I mean, both, we've seen 4 maps in the last 2 days during this week 1, and none of them have really been disappointing, to say the least. But it's been one heck of a week so far. Again, we'll be back next week with more. Before we head out, I just want to thank everyone, including you, Zero, including me, Mickey, I thank you, Multitudes, our producer, our observer for tonight. Thank you so much to Ice Fire Raid, to everyone at Tenax for making these productions possible. Thank you for inviting us to sit here and perform our ADHD stupidity in front of you for 3 hours. We very much appreciate it. Thank you to the viewers. You guys, y'all were great. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you for helping us correct names, because that was impossible. But before we head out, I do want to say we are raiding right now. Please hop in chat. Join that raid. It's INC versus Encrypted. It's on a whole nother channel. Be sure to go in. Tell them 10X sent you. But that's it for us, Zero. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you. Stay hydrated. Please don't dehydrate. And we'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe.